In this video, we continue our discussion on authentication flaws, specifically looking at knowledge-based authentication bypass attacks. The first one is insecure password reset, and the second is poor programming logic. So when you register for a site, many times you'll notice that they ask you 3 questions that you're supposed to pick the answers for. The problem is that many of these questions are insecure because they are easily found on the web, or there could be poor programming logic associated with these questions. In fact, I strongly discourage the use of these knowledge-based authentication questions for these reasons. So we're going to go over an example of one of these. I built a page that you can access through the section Authentication Flaws, specifically the Insecure Knowledge-Based Authentication page. And you'll notice here I've taken a screenshot of one site that I have accessed and the questions that they ask. And most of these are actually freely accessible on the web. What was interesting is that some of these are not just accessible, but could be easily guessed. For example, what is your favorite color? So what I want you to do is go to this page, pause this video, and try to guess the answer to the security questions on your own, and then come back to compare your answers. All right, welcome back. So you'll notice here that I have built this page to test our insecure password reset. And this question is asking us, what is the name of your first job? So if I readily go to this person's Instagram or Facebook account, I could potentially find this information. So for example, you'll notice she looks like she's working as a dental hygienist or a dentist. And it says, thanks for giving me this great job, Miles of Smiles. So I wonder if that's the name of the company she works for. So I'm going to go ahead and just paste Miles of Smiles here. It says it's wrong, so let's go ahead and try it again. But let's go ahead and put a space between the of, and you'll notice that we successfully got that right. Here's another example. What is your favorite color? Well, just scrolling through, you can see that a lot of what she has in her post is pink. So let's go ahead and try to submit pink and see what happens. And it says we successfully discovered that. Here's another example. What was the name of your first dog? Well, if we scroll down, you'll notice that we saw a picture of this dog, and she says, Pansy is elated anytime we can go out for a walk. So I'm guessing the name of her dog is Pansy. So let's go ahead and try that. And you'll notice that we successfully answered the knowledge-based authentication question. This next one says, what is your mother's maiden name? Well, if we scroll down on this fake Facebook account, we can see her bedroom and we can see her dog. Let's keep going. Oh, and then it says right here, Grandma Hester has moved on to the next adventure. She will be missed. So it seems like this is her grandma. Her grandma's last name is Hester, which is probably her mother's maiden name. So let's go ahead and just try Hester as the maiden name. And sure enough, it shows that we've bypassed that knowledge-based authentication question. So I strongly discourage companies to use these knowledge-based authentication questions as they are most likely freely accessible on the web. Alternatively, if you are asked these knowledge-based authentication questions, I encourage you to just come up with an answer that you know that is completely irrelevant to the question that's being asked. This way you can ensure that your answers can't be found on the web and people can't answer those questions to potentially reset your password on your account. Thanks for watching my video. Feel free to click the links here to watch the next video of the playlist, continue to the next playlist, or subscribe.